The birth of the Awofakan and the delivery of the Ikofafun prayer. Orúnmila abiodun lovo Olodumare, oba gejebio Awofakan Okana Meyi. Awo unye najani omijere, oduro legin esortito, agbaban nile. Okuni egunban inu ieni kun Orúnmila, aweleje ashebolita ileken adifafun egun ifa. Chant, legan ilegan abodo un pori, un kashoshotonte unlo tonti oyugbona. Offering 2 hens, sand, palm oil, smoked rat and fish. Everything that is eaten, a lot of money. Story in the land of Ifanyin, where everyone did as they pleased. The so-called Awoses were consecrating Ifa in the same manner as the Muslims and consulting using stones. Upon learning of this, Orúnmila traveled to that land and went directly to the palace of the king, whom he had initiated into Ifa many years ago. When he met him, he asked, "Why do you allow this?" To which the king replied, "I know that Ifa was born from the hands of Olodumare, but I have not been able to do anything because my wife is a diviner, and she directs and permits all this disgrace and wrongdoing." Orúnmila then said to the king, "I am going to put an end to this." He then called a meeting with the so-called Awoses, and when they were all gathered, he told them, "You all know that I have been entrusted by Olodumare to correct everything that has been done wrong, yet you continue to do everything incorrectly." Orúnmila performed divination using the ekin, sacred palm nuts, and the Odu Okana Meyi appeared. He then said, "This is the Odu that represents the central division of the Odus of Ifa." Everyone fell silent, amazed by Orúnmila's wisdom. Then they all said, "The ekin are better than stones for divination." From that moment, everyone wanted Orúnmila to give them ekin for divination. Orúnmila told them, "Before initiating you, it is essential that you receive Awofakan, which is the just king, like the hand of Ifa." The king's wife then said, "Well, if that is the will of Orun, so be it. But we women must also have something of our own." Then Orúnmila told them that they would receive their own title, which would be called Ikofafun Osha, the house of Ifa. Orúnmila took 2 jikaras, gourds, and painted on them the Odus Oshatura, Okana Meyi, Ogbe Osa, and Otura She. In one of them he placed crab earth, Ilikan, while in the other he did not. Then he added to both the offerings for the Oba, king, including sand, smoked rat, and fish, palm oil, salt, lard, soil from the house, 16 guinea peppers, different types of earth, and a snail, Igbin. In the gourd that contained crab earth, he placed 19, and in the one without it, he placed 21. He then added kola nut, arrow, bitter kola, osunabaru, red camwood powder, and Ifa sacred powder, with prayers. Afterward, he recited the 16 major Odus, Meyis, and the Odus of the Atina that had been inscribed on the gourds. Finally, he took everything to the roof of the palace, singing, "Tentenanyo atemuleta leri egun binu tentenanyo." That day, it rained. 7 days later, Orúnmila gathered everyone again and gave each person 2 black hens. He then addressed the men, taking the icon from the Ilikan, crab earth, and said, "Here you have Awofakan." To the women, he took the icon from the other gourd and said, "Here you have Ikofafun Osha. He had everyone kneel and began with the women. Then he recited the sacred words while handing out the ashe, spiritual power. Foro forsile akua tikwa forofosele. Akua tikwa ashaledemi baba Ikofafun Awofakan awo ladi Ifa. Then he declared, "From this day forward, this will be the first initiation received before Ifa itself. In the land of Ifanyin, the Oluos are kings, Oba, and those who receive Awofakan and Ikofafun are vassals of Ifa." And so, from that moment on, Awofakan was given to men and Ikofafun, Oshanil, to women.